Have you ever found yourself thinking about the future? Like really thinking, not just next week, but way down the line?
Yeah, imagining what the world could look like.
Exactly. And picturing a world where, all these different cultures aren't just sort of there side by side, but really connected.
Yeah.
Actively working together.
It's a powerful idea. And actually, that's kind of what we're diving into today. There's this incredibly ambitious project aiming for exactly that kind of global connection for the next generation.
Right. And it's got this huge scope focusing on connecting with, get this, 5,000 distinct people groups.
Across 237 nations. Yeah, it's massive. The idea is to really prepare young people to engage globally.
So where are we getting this info from? What's the source for this deep dive?
Well, we've got materials that lay out this whole vision. There's a specific initiative called the Gemstone Project. And this isn't just some vague dream. It's like a planned system.
A system for what exactly?
For finding talented individuals, training them really well, and then sending them out to serve these often overlooked people groups.
Okay, finding, training, sending. Got it. And how are they planning to show this all off?
That's where the 2025 WRC Expo comes in. It's this big global event, and they're setting up these 6 innovative zones there.
6 zones.
Yeah, 6 zones. And these aren't just, posters on a wall. They're designed to give you a really comprehensive look at how they're building this future piece by piece. It's how the whole Gemstone project is being presented.
Okay, let's get into it then. The Gemstone project itself, what's the big picture?
Right. So the core idea, the absolute center of it, is identifying, nurturing, and then deploying talent. But here's the really interesting part. It's specifically talent from and for these 5,000 unreached people groups. Think of it like a two-way street.
Okay, how so?
They plan to bring people from these 237 countries, these 5,000 groups, to Korea for training. Then they send them back out, ready to serve their own communities and connect globally. It's about building capacity from within.
That's a really different approach, empowering people from those groups themselves.
Exactly, and what makes it seem, actually achievable is how it hooks into things that are already happening.
Like what?
It cleverly links up with the Korean government's Study Korea 300K project.
Oh, I've heard of that. That's the big push to get 300,000 international students into Korean universities, right?
Precisely. It offers scholarships, helps with visas, all that support. So the Gemstone project basically plugs into this existing system.
Oh, so they don't have to build the whole student visa scholarship infrastructure from scratch.
Right. It's a ready-made pathway to bring these specific individuals to Korea for the training aspect. Cities like Busan and other local areas are already heavily involved in Study Korea 300K.
Makes sense. It leverages what's already there. Smart.
Very smart.
Yeah.
And the WRC Expo in 2025, that's the big reveal. That's where you'll see it all laid out.
In those 6 zones you mentioned.
Yep. They've got this exhibition space, 2 connected booths, making a 6x3 meter area. And inside that space, these 6 zones will bring the whole concept to life. Each zone highlights a different part of the strategy.
Okay, let's walk through them. Zone by zone. What's first?
First up is the Vision Hall, Bijeongkwan in Korean.
Vision Hall. So this is the big picture overview.
Exactly. It lays out the whole plan. Find, train, send for all 5,000 groups. You walk in here and you get the scale, the ambition, the roadmap.
And how does it connect to that Study Korea project we just talked about?
Directly. This zone makes that link crystal clear. It shows how Study Korea 300K is the practical engine, the pathway for actually bringing the talent in. It presents the whole blueprint, the logic, the logistics, not just what, but how.
Gotcha. So foundation first. What's next?
Next is the Technology Experience Hall, Disulchehamgwan.
Ooh, technology. Sounds interesting. What kind of tech?
This is all about how they're using innovative tech for outreach, especially in places that are really remote, maybe without reliable internet.
Okay, like what? Give me an example.
Well, they showcase things like solar-powered radio Bibles. Pretty cool, right? For off-grid places.
Definitely. What else?
And get this, credit card-sized servers that create offline Wi-Fi.
Offline Wi-Fi. How does that work?
Basically, these little devices can store and broadcast information, educational stuff, communication within about a 300-meter radius, no internet needed.
Wow. That could be huge in some areas.
It really could. And this isn't just theoretical stuff. They point out that these kinds of technologies are already being used by experienced outreach groups, like from the US, in really challenging environments.
So it's about practical tools for difficult situations.
Precisely. They call it dressing the gospel in technology, but fundamentally it's using smart tools to reach people you otherwise couldn't, bridging that gap.
Okay, tech is zone 2. What's zone 3?
Zone 3 is the counseling hall, Singnam-gwan.
Counseling. For who?
This one focuses specifically on empowering the next generation, particularly TCKs.
TCKs, third culture kids.
That's right, kids from multicultural families living in Korea. The focus here is on high schoolers who often lack guidance on getting into university.
Why is that an issue for them specifically?
Well, even though they go to local schools, many struggle academically, sometimes because Korean isn't the main language at home, or they just don't know the ins and outs of the Korean university admission system. It can be really complex.
Ah, I see. So this hall helps them navigate that.
Exactly. It offers professional counseling on university admissions and careers. The goal isn't just getting them into college, but helping them leverage their unique backgrounds and existing records to aim for really good universities.
That's crucial support.
It is. And the zone highlights how important these young people are as potential bridges between cultures. They have this unique perspective.
Makes sense. Helping them helps everyone connect better down the road. Okay, Zone 4.
Zone 4 is the 5,000 people group Reality Hall. Ocheon Jeongjak, Reality Guan.
Reality Hall. Sounds intense.
It's meant to be impactful. The whole point is to show the real, often harsh economic situations many of these 5,000 groups face. No sugarcoating.
How do they do that?
They use data, like from the World Bank. It mentions some groups surviving on less than $2 a day.
$2 a day. That's incredibly difficult to imagine.
It is. And to make it real, they give specific examples like certain tribes in Sudan, the Kanuri people in Niger and Nigeria, the Bujuri in South Asia, India.
So real people, real places.
Yes. And they contrast this reality with, say, how these groups might briefly appear in media, maybe looking colorful at a festival, which doesn't show the daily struggle.
So the goal is empathy, understanding.
Understanding, definitely. But also motivation to inspire practical support and, importantly, talent development for these communities based on seeing the unvarnished truth. It's a call to engage.
Okay, a dose of reality. What comes after that? Zone 5.
Zone 5 is the 5,000 people group Family Adoption Hall. Ocheon Jeongjak Gajak Semgiguan.
Family adoption hall. What does that mean? Adopting groups.
It's a conceptual shift. The idea is to encourage people to think of these 5,000 groups not just as others to be helped, but as part of an extended family.
Moving beyond just charity to actual relationship.
That's the core of it, cultivating a deeper, more personal connection. The zone explores how platforms, maybe through churches, businesses, even individual families, can be built to foster the sense of belonging and mutual support.
So it's about building community on a global scale.
Essentially, yes. Extending the idea of family and responsibility, it's less about temporary aid and more about long-term, genuine connection and care, expanding the circle.
That's a very different way of framing global engagement. Interesting. Okay, one zone left, number 6.
The final zone is the 5,000 people group economy of Light Hall, Ocheon Jeongjak Bitui Gyeongjagwan.
Economy of light. Okay, how does this connect? Especially after the reality hall.
It connects directly. The reality hall shows the economic challenges, right? This zone tackles the how. How do we create sustainable economic solutions?
Ah, so it's focused on the economics of it all.
Yes, and it introduces some really thought-provoking ideas. It mentions a message from Pastor Yu suggesting that future livelihoods for young people might actually be difficult unless they connect with these unreached groups.
Wow, that's a strong statement. Connect or struggle.
It's definitely provocative, but the core idea here is shifting the perspective again. This zone reframes these unreached groups not just as mission targets, but as resource assets.
Resource assets, what does that mean in practice?
It means seeing potential for partnership, for mutual growth. It's a platform to encourage youth to develop global platform businesses. The idea is to build a light economy, one that fosters self-reliance for the missions and long-term economic blessings for everyone involved.
So it's about creating businesses and economic systems that are intertwined with these groups, benefiting both sides, not just aid, but partnership.
Exactly. Sustainable, mutually beneficial economic ecosystems. Moving towards self-sufficiency and empowerment, not dependence. It's a really innovative economic model tied into the mission.
So putting it all together, these 6 zones, they really cover a lot of ground.
They absolutely do. From the initial vision and the practical tech to the personal support, the hard realities, the family connection, and finally the sustainable economic engine.
And this whole setup at the expo, it's all planned out.
Oh, yeah. They mention a systematic 6-week prep plan just for the booths and the zones. The ultimate goal, especially for the youth involved, is building this light economy connected to the 5,000 groups.
Ensuring the whole effort can sustain itself and really pass something on.
Precisely. Self-reliant engagement, long-term impact.
It's definitely a comprehensive strategy. You've got the vision, the tech, education, empathy, community, and economics all woven together.
It really is multifaceted. Each zone builds on the others. It's not just a collection of ideas. It feels like a thought-through system.
So as you've been listening to this breakdown of the Gemstone project in these 6 zones, think about it. What part of this whole picture really jumps out at you? Is it the tech, the family adoption idea, the economic angle?
Yeah, what aspect feels the most surprising or maybe the most impactful in this vision for the future?
Maybe a final thought to chew on? In this super connected world we live in, what if we really started seeing global communities not just as places needing help, but as partners, as these resource assets the project talks about?
How might that fundamentally change things? Our whole approach to building a future that works for everyone, that's truly sustainable and mutually beneficial.
Definitely something to think about.
Where are we heading now? 5,000 tribes, tiny dreams unite, stars begin to rise from Busan shores to the edge of earth. One beam of light can break the night. This is where the answer starts, where the Gemstone crew holding 3-7 nations. Hearts are breaking through. Now's the time to stand and run. Expo's drawing near. The future's in our hands. We rise without fear. Light up the world with a chosen crew. Find, raise, and send. That's what we do. Tech and truth, one spotlight view. Gemstone dream is coming through. See the tribes in VR, help the TCKs, families form with grace, light economy lay, study Korea opens, we call, we train, we send, the path is set before us, this mission won't end. This is where the answer starts, with a Gemstone crew holding 3-7 nations. Hearts are breaking through. 25 we're seen. We'll stand and say what's true. We'll speak the long-awaited answer straight to you. Light up the world, we're the chosen crew. Find, raise, and send, that's what we do. Tech and truth, one spotlight view. Gemstone dream is coming through. Como say to you, straight to you. Light up the world, we're the chosen crew. Find, raise, and send, that's what we do. Tech and truth, one spotlight view. Gemstone dream is coming.